I'm playing, making this plan in my head. And Simon walked in the room, and Simon was probably about 2 or 3 at that time. And he starts hitting me on my leg. He's like, Mom. But in my head, I can see him, and I'm talking to him, but I'm still in my head planning. If I go around this curve, if I go fast enough, if I flip it just right, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he's hitting me. So eventually I snap out of it, and I'm like, what? And he's like, putting his hands on. He wants to be picked up. He wants some attention. Yeah. And it snapped me out of it. And I just sat there and I thought, well, wait a minute. Let me get this straight, Sheraya. You're grieving because your mother's gone and you don't want to be alive. So if you kill yourself, what are your children going to do?
I tell you lies and it's just so toxic. You lie, I lie too. Girl, I don't love you. You know it's lies when I say it's just you. But don't be mad, boo. I once believed too.
First, let me make this clear. It's DNS Soldier.
This is Robby Too Fast, and thank you for tuning into the Two Sides of the Heart podcast. We are your hosts, CEOs, all that in a bag of chips, a fresh slice of bread, you feel me? Today, we got a special guest. She hails from Eastern Maryland.
Okay.
She's a nurse. Mm-hmm. So she graduated from nursing school.
Mm-hmm. You know about the nurses.
She's a parent of 3 boys. She's the youngest sibling, and she's married to Idris Elba. Please welcome Sheraya. How you doing?
I'm so glad to be here. Idris allowed me to do this, so I'm just glad to be present with you guys. Hey, babe.
All right, we're good.
All right, so we're gonna start this out. Who is Sheraya?
Who am I? I am Idris's wife, a mother, a sister, a friend, medical professional, daughter of the Most High Lord, God, something, Yeah, that's me.
How did you get pregnant as a teenager?
How did I get sex? You know what I mean?
There you go.
Listen, young out here, met this guy, whatever. We had sex like a couple times, and then boom, there I was pregnant. So yeah, that's how that happened.
Looking back, do you regret that, or?
I have regrets about it only because I was young. And so now, I can't take care of myself, and I have this child. And, it was difficult back then because, it's difficult now, but it was really difficult back then because at the time I was the only one pregnant. Mm-hmm. And then after I got pregnant, like all the girls in my class started getting pregnant. It was like, boom, 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 boom. It was like 10 of us all of a sudden. So like the school was like, you got to go. Because, you're making everybody pregnant. I don't know how I was doing that or whatever. But it became a big old thing. And, they tried to embarrass me. It was just crazy. But, yeah.
What do you mean they tried to embarrass you?
I mean, it was like, because they were like basically saying I was influencing the other girls to get pregnant. Like mm-hmm. I was holding up a banner, be like me, or something. But, so they just felt it was like a bad look. So.
How long did you have to leave?
I didn't leave.
Oh.
That's crazy.
They wanted me to leave, but I didn't leave. They let me stay. But they just made it, I had to deal with the teacher's remarks. Everybody had comments. And what made it so bad is during the same time I was pregnant, we had a teacher at the school who was well-known, well-loved. And she was pregnant mm-hmm. and lost her children. Mm-hmm. So then it was like, now this good little church lady loved the Lord. She got these babies she done lost. And then this heifer, her baby is still growing and thriving. So it was like a little animosity about that. So, oh, you know what? Let me cut out the church lady part. She was a church lady. But you know what I'm saying? She's a good lady is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did your family react?
My family, my mother, of course, was upset. So I don't know if you ever heard the story before, but I told her, she picked me up from school for something, and I got in the car and was like, she's pulling off. So she's backing up, and there's a bus in front of her. She's got to go around this bus. So she's backing up. She's like, so then I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm pregnant. She hit the bus. she hit that bus trying to go around it because I guess the shock of it all. So she's turning it. So she's like, I was like, God dang. The bus wasn't tore up, but it was just the whole point. But
did you have a village to help raise your child?
yeah, of course I had a village, but I didn't. My mother was already raising myself and my sister. So I didn't want to put an additional person on her. So I knew I had to do what I had to do. So I went and got a job and immediately and started taking care of, started preparing. I remember when I went to go get the job, I was little back then. Y'all know. Those who know. And so I was, I was showing fast. So I went to the job interview and she was like, you sure you're going to be able to work? And I was like, yeah, listen, I'm going to just get this money and I'm going to have this baby and I'll be back. It's all good. Like, I just got to do it. And she was very hesitant, but she went on and ended up hiring me. So I took right off, started working immediately, stacking money, going to buy things, that thrift store. Y'all know about it. Mm-hmm. At that thrift store, getting that stuff. And so by the time the baby got here, people had given me things, but I had primarily knocked everything out myself. Mm-hmm. So,
what's some advice you would give to young women or just young kids in general if they're having baby or if they're expecting to?
Plan B. And I don't mean the plan B like pop the pill, not to have the baby. Plan B. And I know it sounds good because he loves you and he is going to be there to take care of his kid and y'all belong together and stuff. Girl, listen, plan B. So I feel like as females, yes, you and someone else make a child. But at the end of the day, most of the time, and not all the time, most of the time, the mother, even if she's married or boyfriend or whatever, I always had in my head, I got to have a plan B in case he don't do what he's supposed to do. Even when I was married, I still felt that way. Like, hey, as a mother, I just want to make sure my kids are straight. Mm-hmm. So I always, in the back of my mind, had a plan with him and without him. Mm-hmm. So then that way, if it fell apart, I wasn't standing there looking like a deer in the headlights. So, yeah.
So, how did you meet your husband?
So listen. So we out in Laurel Grove, right? My friend Shanika was seeing his uncle. And so Shanika was like, hey, yo, his nephew in town. Come on over. It's early in the morning. She woke me up out my sleep. It's like, for real? She's like, come on over. He downstairs on the couch. I was like, okay. She's like, we'll put on some lingerie. Okay, let me get up and get my shower and get my stuff together. Picture it, Laurel Grove. Get up, get my stuff together, get everything together, get everything glistening. Put my little coat on. I'm tipping across the parking lot in my little lingerie. And with a dude I don't even know. That's the funny part. He was on the couch and had the cover over him. And I pulled the cover off and slid down in front of him. He woke up like, what the heck? And that was our first.
That's crazy.
That was our first introduction. I laugh about it now, but back then it was crazy. That's the type of stupid stuff I would do back in the day. So after he sat up and looked at like, what are you doing? I was like, hello, my name's Sheraya. What's yours? So yeah, that's how it all came together.
So then from there, like, how did things progress from a one night stand to marriage?
So when we got together, it wasn't supposed to be nothing serious. He was fresh out of a situation. I was fresh out of a situation. We was just hooking up. It was just casual, like, and we went and everybody was cool with it. I went into it knowing that, he went into it knowing that we were just chilling. time went on. I don't even know. It's just time went on. And then it was like, I guess us dealing with each other mostly every day. And then he was right. He was staying with Shanika, which was right across the, the little parking lot. So I guess we started getting feelings, I guess. It's me. So, he was into this thing. You know what I'm saying? Ask your uncle. They know. But, yeah. So that's how that all came together. Marriage. Several years later. Crazy. Still can't believe that.
How does it feel?
Sometimes I love it. Sometimes I hate it. And that's the people don't want to talk about. Listen, everybody on the book and Instagram making marriage sound like it's all so sweet. And he loves me and I love him. Sometimes I be like, man, Lord, well, not recently. Let me back up. Not recently. But back in the days when it was rough, I go to sleep like, man, let me wake up and he still not be here. And I wake up and be like, God dang, Jesus, you ain't find nobody last night. Jesus, you still here? Crap. But it's good and bad times, man. It's good and bad times. And because we didn't really know each other at first. And we two people came and then we came broken.
Mm-hmm.
He had just been, in his situation. My boyfriend of several years had just left me. We were two broken people so yeah, it was a lot at the beginning, but it's cool now. I let him stay another couple of years at least.
What do you love about him the most?
What I love about him, I think that initially when I met him, he was this old thug. He ready to fight any minute. Just listen. You better not look at him wrong. He was all, and I was like, ooh, that's intriguing. He ready to fight. Yeah, knock the nigga out for me. You know what I'm saying? But as time has went on, he's changed and he's more subtle now. He still will fight. Don't mess with him. Ask around. That's another whole episode. But he is so hands-on. So like if he don't know how to do it, he is going to watch a video and figure out how to do it. That's one of the things I like about him. So if we have a car situation, we ain't gonna take it to the man first. He gonna let's find out what's wrong. Okay, this and this and this and this. All right, let me see the YouTube video. Okay, I got it. Boom. I like that he's always tried to be the best father to his children. It don't always work out, and they probably won't appreciate it till they get older. But he's always had the best intentions for making sure his kids were straight.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two things. Sex pretty good.
Hey, so you talked about it a little bit, but I guess my question would be more: how did you doing nursing just because you need it as a means into becoming like a passion or career?
So back in the day, when we was real little, and my mom was in Johns Hopkins, so I don't even know how old we was, but we probably had to be like 4 and 6 or 5 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon was going to be a pediatrician. That was her thing. She said that as soon as she could talk, she was going to be a pediatrician.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't choose nursing. The nursing chose me.
Mm-hmm.
So being in Johns Hopkins back then, not the one now. Sorry, Baltimore. But back then, you go in there and it was the biggest hospital you've ever seen. It was busting with doctors everywhere. They had the state of the art equipment, stuff you've never seen anywhere. And because she was so sick, and it was doctors always in her room. So it was doctors coming in and out all the time. It was nurses. It was this whole thing. And you just walk in as a child and you just be looking at everything. And I was like, man, this is crazy. But I like it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I never did anything but healthcare my whole life. I've never, did Popeye's chicken and that. No, this is not trying to talk bad about Popeye's. But that's just always been my thing ever since I first got that taste of it as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so here I am now, I guess.
So, can you share some experiences private setting for the elite in Talbot County?
Man, listen. Talbot County, listen. So, I want to give a shout out to Miss Portia and Miss Gloria. God, I can't remember the lady's name right now. It'll come to me. So I had my CNA way back in the day, and Miss Gloria was the first person to bring me on with the Mr. Willis. Mr. Willis is, gosh, I can't even remember how it goes now. Anyways, rich people, white people, Talbot County. She brought me on to work for him, and when she just brought me on because she knew my family. That's why you can't be acting a fool, because you got to set up the next generation. So she knew my mom and them. She knew my grandfather and them. She knew they was good people, served the Lord, faithful and stuff. So then she brought me on just based on that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I ain't got much for you. We're going to do it one night a week. I said, cool. Brought on, did that. And that turned into, just by the reputation of people knowing her and her knowing me, I've worked for so many people in Talbot County. Some people I can't even talk about because we got contracts. But I had such a good experience. They showed me a different side of anything that I've ever known, because they were wealthy, and not that fake rich that y'all got in the rap videos, real money. So I was all of a sudden in a world that I've never been in a world that most people at that time had never been in. My longest client, and that dude, Mr. Harrison, he we went all types of places. We ate so much food. We went to the baddest restaurants everywhere. We spent big money eating seafood like almost every day. We had a ball. That was one of my favorite clients. He used to cuss and act a fool. Y'all who know. But he took good care of me. And then we, as time went on, we had to bring in staff because he needed some more care. I brought in my sister. I brought in my people. And then we all was in there just caking. We caked day and night. And everybody was on the come up. That was one of my best clients. That was my longest client. And like I said, he really looked out for us. He just was, he was a little rough around the edges to those who know him. But for me, after some time went on, he was really a blessing. He was really a blessing. And like I said, he just showed us a different way of life.
So what are some of your best experiences with nursing, or maybe with John T? What are some of your best John T stories?
So John T, bless his heart, he used to like to drink Canadian Club and ginger ale, hard liquor. But he was getting older, and older folks don't do it. So we used to go places, and if he was still alive now in 2025, we'd be a YouTube sensation. Because we got kicked out of so many places because he'd be in there cutting up and capering, and they would be like, "You gonna have to leave." They would say it nicely, but they would put us out because he would try to get a drink, and he want mostly Canadian Club and no ginger ale. And they give it to him, but the second drink they would make it half and half. But by the third drink, it would be like this much Canadian Club and this much ginger ale. And then he would snap out. What? He would get rampant. He started hitting his fist on that table, and then the waiter would walk over to me because nobody would talk to him at this point. She'd be like, "Ma'am, can I speak to you over here for a second?" And I'd be like, I know, we got to go. She'd be like, "Yeah," because he's disrupting the place. But yeah, he was a blast. He was, he would just he didn't care who he was. He would lay you out if you wasn't gonna mess with his liquor. But we would definitely be the YouTube sensation because he was out here kirking out in all these establishments. He got put out of so many places. It was embarrassing, but funny at the same time.
So, what are some of the worst experiences you had in nursing?
Oh my gosh. So being in this field and working predominantly with wealthy white people, you always got them couple of people who being their age and the time they were brought up in, they still got some racism in them. So they used to do stuff like, I remember the one lady, I went to her house. She had a table filled with money, just laid all out. And I guess she was going to try to see, like, am I going to take the money or what am I going to do? So I act like I ain't even see the money. I ain't make eye contact with the money. I ain't go near the money. Like, I didn't, if she left the room, I was right behind her. Because you wasn't going to accuse me of nothing. But then she would, like, make little comments and be like, well, I guess you're not used to this. And I guess you've never seen this and that before. So, yeah, that was a drag. But sometimes they just had, really unnice things to say. I didn't let it bother me, though, because I had, my grandparents had told me all their horrible stories. So the little insults and the little comments didn't really bother me. I just knew not to stay there. Mm-hmm. So I would do, stay there a little bit, get a little money. And I'd be like, well, it's my time to go because I'm not going to play them games with you. But, yeah, sometimes they would be. It's Talbot County. You know how it is. Y'all know.
What would you say to somebody that is at a job that, they might be talking down to them but they really need it? Would you tell them to stay or?
In this days and time, the job market, what it is, I would say stay, but always have a plan. So I would be at a job, and if I knew it wasn't going to work out, I'd be working on the next thing while I was at that thing. Mm-hmm. So I didn't never get nowhere and get comfortable. Once I saw that it was getting a little shaky, let me dust this resume off and update it and start sending her out. But I'm not going to stay nowhere and be disrespected. And I'm not going to stay nowhere where you're going to follow me around the house because you don't trust me and that type of stupid stuff. But stay until you can leave. And then, make sure you get your 2-week notice because you might got to spend a block on that job again. So just make sure you do it right. If you got to come back, there won't be no problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's a decision that changed your life, but it almost didn't happen?
A decision that changed my life, but almost didn't happen. Bobby, you should have gave me these questions ahead of time. I'm a little seasoned. Changed my life, but almost didn't happen. Okay, this whole nursing thing. So I went to nursing school. This was not my first time in nursing school. I went to nursing school back in 2009. Mm-hmm. And, around that time was when we found out mom was going to had a year to live. Mm-hmm. So I graduated, but I didn't do nothing with it because I was like, well, if she got a year to live, we're going to go out with a bang. We're going to do some things. We're going to see some things. I'm going to spend some time with her. So that's what we did. Mm-hmm. And then the intentions was, so she ended up living 2 more years instead of the 1 year. Mm-hmm. So the intention was, okay, after she died, let me grieve and I'm going to go back to school. Mm-hmm. But then, we went from 2009 to 2023. So that was 14 years past like that. So I was like, man, I sort of given up on going back to school after all that time. I was like, I'm older now. I don't remember half the stuff. I'm embarrassed. I'm going to be the oldest person in there. I don't want to go back and look crazy. But I went on and went back. It was a good experience. I wasn't the only older person. There was people in there older than me. I couldn't even believe it. So, and then finally finished. So that was one thing that was so up in. I was so up in the air about it for so many years. Should I go back? No, I'm okay. It's fine. No, I'm gonna go ahead and go back. It just was so much back and forth. But I'm glad that it's finally done and over with.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I think that's something that, like you said, you was kind of hesitant because of how old you are. But I remember being in barber school. It's a dude in there that's 50 years old. He's been cutting hair for 30 years. Good. Yeah. Like most people, because for barbering, it just got strict with most places, like the state of Alabama, you don't need a license to cut hair. You can go to a shop, cut hair. Like if I moved to Alabama, I can go cut hair right now because I'm good enough. Mm-hmm. But but just going back to what I was saying, a lot of people, they feel like they can't because of how old you are, or even me. Before my second time, I'm like, I already went. It's kind of too late. And especially because most of the dudes I be in there with, I'm 25, they 18, 19, they fresh out of high school. So it's you feel kind of weird. But at the same time, nah, man, go ahead.
Definitely. I think once I got in there, and the majority of the class was like under 30,
Mhm.
and then there was like maybe 10% of us that was like 35 and older. Like I said, there was a couple of ladies that was older than me, but I think that sometimes we just get in our own way with a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And so once I got into the class, and you looking around, you like, huh, oh, she look a little older. She probably a little older than me. And then you just like, man, it is what it is because after a while the embarrassment and all that stuff wears off. You just like, man, it ain't about none of these people.
Mhm.
It's about going and finally finishing up something that you started a long time ago, and ultimately getting this money, getting this experience,
That money up.
and then just being able to just finally accomplish something after all these years.
Mhm.
So
So I got another question. It's a little touchy. What was that like receiving that news that your mom was only going to live for about a year longer, and then how did you kind of process that and be able to still take care of your kids and be able to move forward?
it was shocking. I never forget it. I was in the bathroom and I was doing something to my hair, and I heard God say it like, she's not going to be around much longer. I was, and then you just got the curl in my hair, and I'm just sitting there like, and just looking around like, am I imagining what I heard, or did I hear what I heard?
Mm-hmm.
So I called Sharon and was like, man, mom's not going to be around much longer. Now, I know that sounds a little crazy, but I'm not going to say it's a gift. I've always known when people are going to die around me. Ever since I was a child, I could just feel it. So when I heard it, it's not that I really doubted what I heard. I just didn't want to hear what I heard, because when it was people over here, they was my family, but it was like over here. So it was like, all right. But now you telling me right here, this person is going to die. It was like, man, called Sharon. I was like, yo, I don't think mom's going to be around too much longer. She's like, yeah, okay. She already know that what I was saying was true, because we've had discussions before about other family members dying.
Yeah.
So she said that we both on the phone, just quiet. Like, what do we do now?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just tucked it in the back of my head and was like, all right. So at the time she was staying with me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, cool, we just gonna wrap this out. We just gonna, like I said, we going out with a bang. We just gonna spend time together, and we just gonna make it do what it do.
Yeah. I have another question before that. Something I remember, man, remember it used to snow real bad. It would be me, her, and my cousin in the bed, and we would just all be sleeping. And she woke me up like, Robby, your leg on me, put your leg back over there. And I just got to put my leg back over there. I wake up, she's like, Robby, you're laying on me again. Get your arm back on.
Listen. That was, back in the day, we didn't have nothing like what we have now. But the love that people had as far as family back in the day cannot be matched, even with all the technology we have now. Because when you don't have nothing, all you have is each other. The internet is great, but the internet has opened people up to so much. And like, you could literally sit on your computer and see what's happening in Europe. Like, it's crazy. And so it's like it's taken away from the family unity and bond that used to be, because we would just sit around.
Yeah.
We had a TV. That joint was like 1,000 pounds, and it was set down on the floor, and it worked every now and again. You had to go in there, you had to flick that thing. See, it wasn't no remote. You had to turn it with your fingers. You get the antennas, and somebody had to hold it. Doing the show, you had to hold it and watch. So it was good times back then, man. It was good times back then. You talk about sleeping in the bed and stuff. See, right now they'd be like, "Ooh, that sounds funny." You in the bed with your grandma, but back then, when your grandma was sleeping, you go tuck up underneath her. That'd be the best sleep in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'd be good sleep. You know what I mean? And then it just felt, it was innocent. Now they look at that type of stuff like, there must be something going on. But
and just the experiences we all had, like the family reunions and Easton at that, that road, we take that road back to the, was it the 4-H park or something like that? We go to, or this, them, or, or just anytime we was all together. Like, I remember one time, I don't know what, it was a meeting. It was a bunch of women, and you was doing her meds, and then everybody was just telling stories about stuff, and like just those type memories, or like that's even why I do the prayer call. Is because like I know like Simon and Simon, they always want to be around, or at the time I wasn't living with Darius, and so I didn't. That's something that I wanted to us to be able to still talk to him and just keep it all together, because I hear too many people, coworkers and people I deal with, they're like, yeah, I haven't talked to my mom, my sister in 10 years. That's crazy to me. I couldn't imagine not talking to my sisters for 10 years. That's wild.
But you know what? And it don't take nothing to happen.
Yeah.
It's crazy how people will start not talking to each other for a week, and then all of a sudden it's a month, and then all of a sudden it's 6 months, and then by that time you done grown so far apart that it's normal to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you talked about the reunions, family members. It saddens me that our reunion we've not had a reunion now. I don't even know. I think it's like 5 years.
I feel like I was still in high school, honestly.
And the family members, this is what blows me. Most of the family members live in Talbot County. I dare say 75% of the people live in Talbot County and saved and sanctified, but cannot get together once a year for a family reunion. Like it bothers me. I just can't comprehend it. Like, how did we get here? This was never, 20, 30 years ago, this would have never even been contemplated in nobody's mind. Like, it's just crazy. Y'all know y'all wrong.
Yeah. I think one thing, though, I think it's kind of two things. I feel like the trauma that comes, and I'm not saying that should, but I feel like before, trauma would just be swept under the rug. And so then now our generation is kind of like holding people accountable. And that's a little bit different. But at the same time, it's like, because, when you get to a certain age, you're like, look, it is what it is. Like you get these 70 and 80-year-olds, they just like, it is what it is. Like, what do you want me to do about this? But it's like, I want you to hear me and just acknowledge that you did something that hurt me. And so then we can move on. But then, the older folks, they're not willing to do that. And then we're not letting it go. So then that just causes that divide.
It does. It definitely does. But at some point, the older folks should be embarrassed. And to me, it's not enough. I don't understand why some of the stuff that happens, just because you old, don't mean you right. Let's get that straight. A lot of old people feel like, I'm older, I know better, I'm right. No, you should be ashamed to even be saying stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's making mistakes, old and young. But it comes to a point where somebody has to say, hey, man, listen, this is going on long enough. We got to get the family back together. It's got to be top priority.
Yeah.
And if it means I have to humble myself and apologize, even though I don't feel like I'm right, even though I don't feel like I'm wrong, I feel like the older folks should use some wisdom and say, man, listen, let's just do what we got to do to get back on track, because at the rate we're going, the family reunion is going to be a thing of the past. And then we'll look up, it'll be 15, 20 years, and we'll be saying, man, God, it's been that long since we had the reunion? It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's not even that hard to hit people up. Like, I'm starting to do that with my dad's side of the family. And it's not like that we not cool, but like, we just don't, I'm not as close as my dad's side as with my mom's side. So now I just, once a week I text people, and all it takes is that. And so then now, like, I got my cousin Alexis, like I text her, like, hey, what's going on? Cool. And then now she, sharing intimate, that's all it takes. That's all it takes for people to do that. And sometimes that's all people want, is just for you to be able to just hit them up, like, yo, what's going on? Yeah. Or like a question that we ask people sometimes is like, what's something you wish people would ask but they never do? And it's usually like, are you okay? Like what, how are you? How many times I've been, hey, how you doing? And now people crying on the phone with me. Keep it a buck, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I was just being a nice person. But that's all it takes. It's somebody really taking the time to ask, like, how are you for real? Like, what's really going on with you?
True. That's true.
Yeah. Factuals. But then again, going back to the whole family thing, I really just feels like everybody views the world through their own experiences, right? But the difference is your experience can be totally different from mine. But what you have in your head, it wasn't that bad. But to me, no, it was that bad. So we're never gonna agree. And sometimes it's hard to forgive a person until it's too late. Like in the sense of that person's now gone. Now you're thinking like, well, I could have forgiven them. But there's other situations like personally, I don't have any ill will towards my father. But like if he died, I might fuck around and laugh. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's just me. I don't like, but it's like it's too late now. No matter what you try to do, like it's in a sense, I don't hate you. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, but it's family, and it's like we should get together. I don't know. Honestly speaking, if it wasn't for like business purposes on his end, the last time I had actually spoke to my father, I was probably like in middle school. I was in 6th grade.
Wow.
I graduated 18, so it's like, but I haven't spoke to him, and it's like, it gets to a point like family is family, but sometimes, like they say water is not thicker than blood, but I just feel like it depends on how you stir it.
That's true. But I also look at it like this. People will go through struggles and all type of stuff with the ones they love. They booze and they boyfriends and girlfriends, and he didn't cheat on you 80 times, and you'll go back and you'll make it work and you'll be committed. Your cousin will do something this small. You be like, I ain't fooling with them no more. Why? Why are you willing to just discontinue relationship with your family over something that's small? But then your friend / lover or whatever you want to call them can do all type of stuff to you, and you go back no problem.
So they're giving them that Thor's hammer. Why?
Listen, it ain't enough hammer in the world. When you're young, when you're young, and I understand you put up with a lot more stupid stuff, but as you get older, I just don't have a tolerance for stupid stuff on any level from anybody. As far as family, I love all of them. My number been the same number it's been for 15 years, but I'm not chasing nobody. I'll see you at the next funeral.
I ain't mad at it. I feel like I just got a little bit more patience because I am young. Because I'm gonna keep hitting these people up, and I'm like, yeah, Robby, we need to go do this and that, and then I'm like, and then in the back of my head, I'm like, well, how are we gonna get in contact? You don't got my number, but you talking about let's go do something, but you didn't take my number down. Like that don't make no sense. But
That's crazy.
But I just feel like, but then I also feel like me personally, I'm just that person that is supposed to bring the family together. Like how I just took my cousins to the Ravens Stadium the other day. You know what I mean? And even though one of them, that's not really his thing, but we still together though. And even when you could look back, like, I don't really like football, but we was all together though. And I still, tried to get everybody, to let's just be together. Like even like Ocean City. I hate Ocean City, but when I'm with my family, it's the best place ever because we together.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Speaking of family too, I feel like it's how you was raised up. You know what I mean? Like my family, we're big on family, but we're big on family when it's some serious shit. Like when somebody got to go and bust somebody's head open, or my sister called somebody put my hand. We all riding out, but other than that, it's kind of like what's understood don't gotta be explained. I love you, you feel me? But other than that, if you need something, you could call me. But the way y'all grew up was kind of different. You know what I mean? Y'all was more like compact and like, you know what I mean? Like doing all that extra stuff. It's not even extra, but you see how I say extra stuff. It's like,
because y'all not used to that. Like, and then for us, it's like,
Let me tell you, one of the greatest moments that I can think of as far as my family, when my Aunt Ethel died, she lived in DC and we all lived all over the place. But we all came to her apartment. She had a 2-bedroom apartment in DC. And it was small, 1 bathroom. It was tight in there, but we was like 30, 40 deep in there. I mean, every place you could sleep, people was halfway asleep on the kitchen floor, living room floor. We was like body to body. There wasn't no, give me space. We ain't have space. We had 30, 40 people in there, and we cackled and we giggled. We had the best time.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody was complaining. We had one bathroom with 30 people, 40
Mm-hmm.
people. But everybody had their turn, but nobody waiting, but nobody mad. It was sad because of the occasion,
Right.
but having all of my family together, all of my immediate family together in that one apartment, cramped as it was, hot as it was, tight as it was one of my best memories
Mm-hmm.
because we were there together. I felt like it was so much love in the room. I felt like we could take the whole building and pick it up because it was all of us tight in there. I mean, you were sleeping like this. You couldn't turn over.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever position you got in when you laid down, that was your position all night long.
Mm-hmm.
But we had a good time. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know that saddens me that that'll never happen again. We'll never. If we were to do something like that now, everybody would be like, "Oh my God, it's only one bathroom. Oh my God, I gotta sleep on the floor. Oh, I gotta sleep next to that person. Oh my God," it would never happen again.
Yeah.
We'd have to pay everybody money to show up and do it again.
Yeah.
But before we was just somebody else would call and be like, "Oh, I'm coming on the way too." We say, "Scoot your cover over, so and so on the way," and it was like cool. You just move your little stuff, and it was no big deal. But it'll never happen again.
That's one thing that I hated my mom made me do, but I appreciate it now. I remember the one time me and Olivia didn't talk for a week, and she said, "Both of y'all come here now." And we were standing in the hallway. She was like, "Hug each other." I was like, "Fine." I give each other a kiss.
That's old school right there.
But like I appreciate it though, because now like we always hitting each other up in the group chat. Like I appreciate this tattoo. It should say 1 of 5, but it says 1 of 4. And like but I just that memory is great because we was downtown in DC just celebrating Layla's birthday. We were like, "Oh yeah, let's get a tattoo." Okay, and we all tiptoed up there, and I think somebody didn't have no money. I gave them some money so we could all just But I'll always remember that. You know what I mean? Or just. And I think like, just being able to carry that now. So like now, cause it's like, we're all grown now, it's our turn. It's our turn to have the family reunion. When we have kids, we going to be the ones. Hey, look, Sharice and her kids coming over, her 17 kids coming over. Go ahead, everybody, you know what I mean? So yeah, so.
That's crazy though. Like realistically speaking, I've never been to a family reunion like that's my family. It's always somebody else's family, and I'm just kind of there for support. And like now, a big portion of my family is not in the States, but we got heads still in the state, like where we could, come together and it'd be a cool 50 people, like just throughout. But it's like I could damn near say we just don't give a damn. Like that whole like family reunion, this, that, and the fourth. It sounds cool, and I like it. I like the vibes. I can't say I'm a people's person because like I'm a little bit antisocial. I don't really like a lot of people like that. So if I like you, you're cool. But other than that, like, I can't really say that I ever think we'll do a family reunion. The most will be if I'm driving through the state. Like, if I go back to Florida, I'll pull up on my sister. I'll see my nieces, my nephew. How everybody doing? Cool. That's the biggest family reunion that we'll get. But other than that, the only time you'll see me, like, if you see me with my family and we out somewhere, we're probably going to go fuck somebody up. And that's just point blank, period. Other than that, we don't really. So it's crazy. And I don't know, like, hearing y'all talk about, like, but it's like I can't even relate to that because I don't know what it feels like for real, to be honest with you.
It takes you, though. Remember, you talked about building the neighborhood, and they said the DNS neighborhood, but at the same time, like, you know what I mean? Like, that'll be your family. That'll be your family reunion when we're all, in that type of situation. Or you've even talked about having enough money to get back to Haiti. Like, that'll be the reason for people to come together. You know what I mean?
I feel it, bro. I just realize my main thing with doing that is because Haiti's bad right now. And, like, if I could help all of Haiti, that'd be cool. But it's mostly for family. Just try to get them comfortable. But it's like, I highly doubt it. Like, honestly, Jesus is going to come back before I get to see a family reunion. That'll probably be my family reunion when Jesus come back. Everybody be cool. And I'll see you on this side or, damn, that sucks, bro. We're on that other side. But other than that, though, like, that's my family reunion.
Wow.
To be honest with you.
Wow.
Or this, like, when I'm with him, that's the best family reunion I'll get. We're all joking, laughing, pull up to his mom's house, Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
So, have you ever felt like you had to choose between motherhood and your dreams?
All the time. So I never liked the country. Yeah, every summer we would come up to Silver Spring, and listen, I couldn't wait. I could not wait. Spring break, summer, winter break, we was up here as fast as we could get because I just always felt like a city girl. Like the country was just never my thing. Um, so I wanted to come back as soon as possible.
Mhm.
So I was getting older. Okay, cool. Cool enough now that if something is jumping off, if there's a problem, he can tell me.
Mhm.
I'm going to start to move back. But then, I met Sam, and then we had Simir, and I was like, well, no, I can't do it because, Simon and Simon are young, and they straight country kids.
Mhm.
So, like, at least I had the city exposure. I was going there enough to be able to fit into both worlds.
Mhm.
They didn't know nothing. They was country bumpkins. So now I was like, well, let me just wait a couple more years until they get older. So that once we go up there, they can say, hey, Mr. Derek the other day told me he wants a kiss. Then I can be like, oh, shoot, that's what I've been waiting for. But so I sort of had to put what I really wanted on hold because I didn't want to bring my kids up to the city until they were old enough where I didn't want to bring them up here in daycare because
Facts. Mhm.
now I know a good lady that would have definitely took good care of them, but it's just so much up here. And when people know that you're not from the city, they try to play mind games with you, and it's a whole different language, a whole different culture. So yes, I definitely had to put the dream of coming back to the city on hold for motherhood.
Was there anything else, or was that really the only thing?
It's a lot. I mean, you know, uh, funny story. I had to go to a conference one time. Buying for my children is nothing. I'll see something. Oh, that look nice. Buy.
Mhm.
And I remember I went to a conference. I was still living down in the country. I had to go to a conference up in like Columbia or something.
Mhm.
And I got there and had jumped in the car crazy and got to the hotel and realized I didn't have no suitcase. So now I'm all the way up in Columbia with nothing. So I said, man, I got to go to the Walmart and grab a little something to wear, try to find something. So I went to the mall, grabbed a couple things, but it just felt so crazy. And I was in the line trying to convince myself, now I ain't got nothing
Right.
put on, nothing. But trying to convince myself to buy for myself
Mhm.
because it was so strange to me because it's something that didn't usually happen. So then I had the people behind me in the line was like, I'm standing there like, shoot, should I do it or not? It was like, I didn't even realize how far as a mother I had put myself to the back where I couldn't even believe and even try to convince myself to buy something that I definitely needed.
Mhm.
It's not like, I mean, I couldn't, had my driving clothes on. I couldn't wear that to the event the next day. But that to me was like eye opening. Like, man, you can put yourself so far in the back that you need this stuff, but yet you got to talk yourself into buying it to even. That was crazy to me.
Mhm.
That was crazy. That was a crazy moment. I got the stuff, but it was just I'm standing there debating on it was crazy.
So how do you manage that now? Like, provide.
Oh, they now. Listen, I listen every time I can. I'm on. Listen. Yeah, it's still difficult at times, but I definitely make sure I'm gonna get mine off the top. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pay them tithes, then I'm gonna start looking for something I really like every time because I felt like I didn't put into y'all all these years. Y'all still get almost everything y'all want. It's my time,
Mhm.
so I'm a little selfish, a
How
little
would you,
stingy.
how would you advise a younger mother, or just some moms in general, to kind of like carry that mindset?
I mean, everybody's gonna see it differently.
Mm-hmm.
I think as mothers, we naturally always put the needs of our children and family overall first. But I would say you still got to look out for yourself, though. Like, I understand that you want your kids to look nice, you want them to have nice things and all that. But if you work hard, after you done worked hard at this job, you need to me, I need a little something to give me an oomph to go to work next week. Mm-hmm. So I got to buy something to be like, man, well, I guess I got to go to work next week because I want some more of this. So you definitely gotta put some love on yourself too. Put some time, some money into yourself because it's just a drag. Yeah, it's good at first because it sounds good. Yeah, my kids, they all taken care of. They got their school clothes, they got their book bag and stuff. But then you sitting there in a bra for 3 years. You know what I mean? So yeah, put some time into yourself. Mm-hmm. You can do both. And they're going to school. You going to work and you going out and about. They be finding Walmart clothes. It ain't gonna hurt them. I know it ain't cool, but they be fine sometimes.
Man, I was at Walmart earlier. I was looking. I was like, hold on. She was all right now. I ain't gonna. Hey, look, I'm keeping a bug with you. They was all right now. I ain't gonna.
I still wear clothes from Walmart.
I'm about to say, man, look, socks and underwear. Yeah, straight from Walmart.
No, like I'll buy a fit from Walmart.
Oh, no, I would too.
No bullshit.
No, these pants not from Walmart, but shoot, I wouldn't be mad if they was.
I see you got your Target outfit on. Like, I thought we was boycotting them.
Oh, God. Okay, is love enough if the sex isn't?
No. Listen, don't let nobody lie to you. Don't let nobody lie to you. I mean, listen. Well, back in the day, I had a guy. See, listen. Let me make a disclaimer. Now, see, a lot of y'all don't really know this side of me. I'm very, I shoot from the hip. My Robby knows I don't play a whole lot of games. And it's probably going to offend some of y'all, but I don't really care. Back in the day, so to answer your question, say that question again.
Is love enough if the sex isn't?
No, yes and no. I've had some very poor sex. I mean, poor, like, I wanted to rip my whole vagina out. Just forget it. Giving the game up. But then I've had, but he was nice and he was treated me special and he was kind and just all the things that you want. So it was like, ugh. Yeah. Let's just not do that anymore though. Let's just sit on this couch and let's just snuggle. Let's just not do that though. Let's give that up. But at the same time, you know, when you're younger, sex is like everything. But you get older, you realize, it's not like that. Put me in a house. Like your mindset changes. But when you're younger, you want your back and stuff put out and stuff. You get older, you be like, man, listen, can I get a refrigerator full of groceries? Like that is what turns me on. Ooh, the whole fridge full. Let's go. Let's go in the room. Listen, you know what I'm saying? So it's half and half on that question.
I feel like that too, half and half. It really depends. Like, it's a balance, and like the second that one of them starts to kind of like, so for instance, he a good guy, but he can't lay it down right. Mm-hmm. All right, it's cool until like you start to get used to it, or you start to want more. Then the balance on the scale starts to tip, and once it starts to tip, I feel like it's a downhill battle from there. But as long as you can keep your balance cool, where it's like, I can kind of do this, or I can settle for this. Mm-hmm. But once you can't settle for it no more, I don't care what nobody says. One way or another, you gone. Like, for real, point blank period.
Yeah, I guess. Plus, I think it's different for guys too. You know, I think it's different for guys. I think y'all are so visual that it's like everything got to be this and this and that. But for girls, it's just like it's just different.
Yeah, I don't know if I just grew up around too many women, but like I feel like for me, it's definitely more mental. Don't get me wrong, you can't be looking like a bag of potatoes, but nah, but for me, it's like I'd be more mentally attracted to people. Like, can we sit here and have a good conversation? Like, are you able to, like, you know, like the one time, man, we was at our third music video. And the girl who was arguing, and I said something. She was like, "Yeah, you right. I'm right. Me? Okay. $100. Like, but it's just more so like people that are able to do that type stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, for me, it's more about that. Because even if you fine, but then you got a sucky attitude, yeah, you're not even cute for real. Like, it don't even matter.
If the sex is trash, be humble. You know what I'm saying? Be humble. Like don't listen. Don't do that. Don't do that. Listen, you need to just be walking in rooms like, so you hungry? You know, like, you know, thirsty? You want to go do something? But like, don't come in trying put that up. Sit down. Sit down. Let's just not
Put that up is crazy.
Listen, funny story. You know, everybody used to always say, church guys, you should deal with somebody in church. So I was like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try this church guy. You know, he was talking about the Lord and everything. Everything's all good. And he seemed like a good guy. We was rapping the taste for a minute. Came to my house. I didn't think nothing of it because he had told me how much he loved the Lord and everything. And I was like, and he wasn't trying to get down with the get down. I said, cool, I'm not either. Boom. We in the room. We in the living room. I go to the bathroom and come out. This nigga naked.
No. Like
naked.
Naked man.
I was like, but I thought we loved the Lord. Like, what is we doing? He's like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? I was totally blown away by it and unimpressed. Let me say that. But yeah, that was wild. Yeah. So don't believe because somebody say they at church and stuff they love the Lord that they ain't getting down with the get down because they is because he totally shocked me. We just can't. I mean, we was talking about the Lord and stuff and reading scriptures. I don't know how he got dressed so fast. Like I wasn't in the bathroom that long. I mean, he's standing there butterballed.
No, he figured it out. He already knew what he came.
Listen, I guess he was. I had no idea. I was blown away.
He said, we can love the Lord together.
I guess, yeah, okay. Listen, I was like, listen, go and get dressed. Because it's not happening, my dude. Like,
I would have cried. Go and get dressed this time. Nah,
man. We just was talking about scriptures. Like, how you go from that to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no.
Yeah, they say the church got the biggest freaks. That's what they just say.
Listen. That's a whole nother podcast. Yeah.
Anyway, so are modern women more entitled than empowered?
Are they more entitled than empowered? I think they're a little of both. Women. I grew up in a time where women, if they was sneaking and creeping, it was very tight-lipped. Like, you ain't know what people was doing. When they were doing things that wasn't right, it was like on the low. And especially with women. The men always, whatever. They just didn't care. The women now are just wild. And everybody wants to be 22. And so, I mean, we've made advancements as far as we have more education and stuff than back in the day. But the women now, man, nobody wants to be grown up, and then they out here wilding just as hard as the guys, and they proud of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, not to say that they can't wild as hard as the guys, but man, there used to be and like I said, I guess I was just raised differently. It used to be a way you carry yourself. Mm-hmm. A way to sit, a way to talk, a way when you walk down the street. It's just a way to dress. And the women now are, not all of them, but too many of them, especially people my age and older. It's just, they just need to get it together. We are not 20 nothing anymore, not 30 nothing. I want women to, yes, you can get an education, you can raise your family, you can do all of this stuff. I just think we need to bring a certain bit of modesty back into it. Like, it's some women, you see them and you just, I can look at it. I know her bra size just from looking at it. Just all these titties out. They got the skirts on and all that. But then if you say something to them about it, people are highly offended. But it's what you present. Mm-hmm. If you present with all your body out, I'm a female. I don't know what guys think in their head, but I'm thinking, well, she's trying to sell something. Mm-hmm. She's trying to give you, listen, this is what you can get if you do whatever. Yeah. So I just think that women, I just think that we need to get back to being a little bit more ladylike. That's what I'm looking for. You a little more ladylike, just present it a little better. That's why we got all these little young girls with just all this sass and mouth and dressing like grown women because this is what they see. Back in the day, they used to tell you to sit, don't sit with your legs open, sit, cross your legs at the ankle, hold your hands in your laps, always have a nice little purse with you, always have a nice purse with a little peppermint, a little tissue in it, lady things. I definitely think that we need to get to being more ladylike.
What do you say about women empowerment though? Like, oh, this is a what they call the
male dominated.
And all that, like about we equality and all this other type stuff. Like,
I don't even really get into all of that. I mean, everybody got different views on it. I think that men should still do stuff like open doors. I think that men should still do stuff like just be men. There's some women who be like, you ain't got to do all that stuff for me, but that's their opinion. I just think it just looks better when men open doors, and then it says a lot about a man. And I know that some women don't want that, and why would you not? Like,
yeah,
people think weird. I just think I'm raising my boys to, when they're dealing with females, to be gentlemen.
Yeah.
Still do the things. If you're going to pick somebody up, don't pull up and toot the horn. We're going to walk to the door. We're going to take you from the door, get in the car. And then once you bring her back home, walk her to her door.
Yeah.
Make sure she's in before you pull off, like that type stuff.
Yeah.
But some women don't want all of that. And if they with a chick and she says she don't want that, then that's her decision. But I just think that that's the way it should be.
Yeah. No, I agree. I remember we was in church one time and the dude, I don't think he was being serious, but he was kind of saying in the message, he's like, Robby, if I tell you every time you see a woman open the door, I had to be in elementary school, but ever since then, I still carry that type mindset. Or even like, I don't know, like, I think the key word you said was gentleman. Women don't want a gentleman. They want a tough, hard dude. They're
young. I mean, everybody wants a thug when they're young because it sounds exciting. Ooh, what you doing last night? I almost shot 3 people. What? Oh my God, he's great. As you get older, you're like, man, I just want peace and quiet. Like, I just want to come home and spend time in my house and just have peace and quiet and just enjoy life. The thug stuff is out the window now. If something jump off, I want you to jump off too. Now, don't be that soft. But at the same time, that thug stuff, man, I'm too old for it.
Like, the whole being a gentleman, I feel like, you know how people be like, a man should always be a gentleman? I don't believe that. I believe a man should be a gentleman for the right person. That's just how it is. So, like, the thing you said, open the door for everybody, I'm not going to lie. If it's convenient for me, I'll hold this door open for you. But I'm not going out my way to open this door for you. Don't know you, don't care about you, to be honest. And if it's someone I care for, I'll run to open this door for you. You feel me? But that whole being a gentleman for everybody, I ain't gonna lie, shit dead to me.
I think you said that now because you're young. One day you're going to start a family and you're going to want to show your daughter what to expect. So then you have to model that for her.
Well, I feel like I am. Like, if my daughter, well, I don't have one, but if I were to, and she gets a man like me, I'll be hyped. Like, when it comes to being a good man towards the woman I love, I'm all that. Okay. So, in that sense, you know what I mean? I can't be a gentleman to everybody. That's just how I feel.
Okay, imagine this. Imagine your daughter. She's 17. She's out on a date. She's walking along the street. They're walking down. They're in Baltimore. Walking down the street. It's a busy street. Okay, they're walking, holding hands. She's on the curb. Like, she's on that side of the street. You wouldn't look at that situation, think to yourself, why wouldn't he put her on this side and he take the curb, so if anything happens, he would take the hit before she would? That wouldn't just like pop in your head, like that would be the appropriate thing to do?
Not necessarily. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I'm not saying that I don't want my daughter to be with someone who is always thinking of, her best interest, so that would put her on the inside. I'm not saying like I don't want her to be with a man like that. What I'm saying is certain things are like the curb situation, or like when you cross in the street, right? You should be on the side that has the oncoming traffic. I understand all that, but I don't feel like those are the only things that make a man or
No,
a gentleman.
it's not the only things, but that's definitely some of the things that if I was like, God forbid I ever had to go back into the dating world again. I definitely want a gentleman. I definitely don't want to have to. If I'm coming in and we both going into the, what has a push door? But we both going into the TJ Maxx and he in front of me, and I'm walking a little slower, and that door hit me in my face because he didn't open it. That's gonna be our last date. That's it. Excuse me, sir. Like, first of all, you let me be behind you, so if somebody's attacking me, I'm defenseless because you're in front of me, and then you're not even gonna hold the door to even make sure that I'm all the way in. That would be it. That'd be our first and last date. Gone.
So I have a question, right? So you saying that, right? It should be a man's job to keep that in the back of his mind, right?
Protection.
Well, I feel like it's more than just protection, but protection is a big part of the role that a man plays, right? So going back to playing your role, right? So this man should be playing his role, but in return, do these women play their roles? You want me to always keep in mind your safety. So when we're walking, we're crossing, I got to be on guard. I got to make sure that you're on the inside. Okay, but are you making sure I'm safe? And mentally or emotionally,
they should be doing that too. It's not just on the guys. Women should definitely make men feel like a safe space. And I'm going to say honestly, I haven't always done that. I think that sometimes women, and I think they really hate to admit it, but when we get really pissed off, we're gonna bring up things from the last 20 years that has been sitting, collecting. That's why I went back in 19 so. That's why you like I'm gonna go low. So I haven't always been a safe space, but as you mature and as you get older, you realize that yes, at first it feels good to say, "Ha ha, I got you," and I stung you bad, but it's when you get older and you look back on this stuff, you're like, man, that was a real low blow. I can't believe I said that. He said that to me in our private time. And now when I'm mad, I didn't hit him over the head with it. Like, that's a low blow. Because if I say something to you and I'm vulnerable and I share something with you and you come back and you say it to me in a moment of anger, that's going to be like,
facts.
So I think that women do have to be mindful and do have to, even though you're angry, you guys got to always remember them words can't never come back. Once they out there, and even though people be like, well, I forgive you and I move on, right about in there, that thing's sick. You gonna always remember, man, that day I told her so and so, and she brung up what I told her about so and so. So you ain't gonna never forget that. You ain't gonna never forget it. So I mean, it's you just can't go back on some things.
Yeah, I think the thing for me though, on what you were saying, Soldier, and I know we disagree about this all the time, but I think you're worrying about the wrong things. I definitely do feel like, if somebody's doing you wrong, that's one thing. But me personally, it's like what she is or not doing has nothing to do with me. My job is to be who I am as Robby Too Fast. Now, if you on the wrong and I peep that, then okay, I gotta let you go. But at the same time, me stressing about what you are, what you're not doing is, first of all, it's too stressful. And I already got 5 gray hairs in my beard that I cut off for the video. And I don't need no more trying to think about what you is or what you ain't doing.
Well, I wouldn't say cut them off. I think that you just have to be, I think that if someone's doing something you don't like or makes you uncomfortable or whatever, you got to communicate that. And then if they still do that same thing, eventually you got to cut them off.
Yeah.
If I tell you, like, one of the things I didn't used to like, I don't like nobody holding me down. Even when it's play, you know how people hold you down and take you. I don't like that for the longest. It's better now, but way back then, don't hold me down because I panic.
Yeah.
I go straight into fight mode because I just don't like being held down.
Yeah.
So, but if I told you that, and then every Tuesday you do it,
right,
that third Tuesday gonna be your last Tuesday because I didn't told you that is something that I don't like. I told you it puts me into fight or flight mode. and we sat and we talked about it, and you said you understood, and then you didn't did it 2 more times. Well, it's like, screw me, screw how you feel. Basically, you let me know you don't really like me.
Yeah.
You ain't said it, but you said it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the chance to try to improve on it, but if obviously you don't want to improve on it.
Yeah. I think I agree with you, and I agree with you saying. I think the thing that I don't like unnecessary stress. I got this podcast to run. I got businesses I'm trying to pull up. So me thinking about what you are or are not doing is taken away from me being able to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. I do feel like if you're not holding me down, why am I holding you down? And I do agree that it's like, it shouldn't be an immediate thing. But I think for me, when I say it's none of my business, it's like, I can't control that. So that's not going to be at the forefront of my mind primarily when dealing with you. But if I do peep it though, you geeking. I don't know if you got it, bro.
It's just the way I see it, bro. Like, we'll always and forever, because, like, the best way I could put it, like, you're like, it don't matter, like, reflect on myself, what am I doing? But it's like, that's cool. But it's also like, when someone else starts to do something that affects me, you're not just only doing you. I'm not only just worried about you, because whatever you're doing is also affecting me. So now it's like, okay, now you got me fucked up because you doing this, and I done told you this, or like you not peeping this, and it's like, why am I going to continue to break my back to go out my way for you when you've shown me you're not going to go out your way for me? Fuck out of here.
So you're going to stay with her and not do for her, or you talk about leaving?
Oh, I'm going to leave, bro.
Oh, I already said that.
But also, that whole, like, where I'm not going to worry about, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Now, maybe I need to heal some more, you know what I'm saying? I have my own personal issues, but, like, yeah, nah, brother. You on some funny shit, you moving funny, but you expect me to be your prince? Yeah, that's crazy. I'm sorry, I just can't. Like, nah, you're not ready to be doing me wrong or not doing your responsibilities, but you want to hold me accountable for my responsibilities.
I mean, I feel like in that conversation, and I feel like that's a conversation that needs to be had, though. It's not like, but I feel like, but then also 9 times out of 10, if you did something crazy, like me and I can't say her name yet, but me and Shorty be arguing, and if she do something wrong to me, and I keep being who I am, you know what, Robby, I was wrong, because you know that you was wrong from the jump, and if I react a certain way, then now you're like, what did Asante say yesterday? Now you focused on what I yelled at you for versus the fact that you was wrong.
Okay, well, nothing.
But I mean, I know, but I'm just saying that what has worked for me is that now that you see that in spite of all that, I'm still the same dude. It's like, dang, I really effed up.
So that's that Jesus shit, turn the other cheek shit.
Yeah. You just need to be in church more. That's all.
Fuck out of here. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not Jesus, bro. I can't. Like, I can't just turn the other cheek. Maybe I'll get there one day. You know what I mean? But right now, DNS Soldier, you feel me? Social security number ... No, I'm not doing that, bro. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, it is what it is.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Do you believe love is more about feeling or commitment?
Commitment, because I'm not gonna always feel love. You're just not. To me, that's just my opinion. But would I rather have somebody that I know loves me, or that I know is committed to me? I pick commitment.
Facts.
Warm, this little lovey, warm, fuzzy feeling, man. Sometimes that's. I know people who are in marriages and committed relationships. I think maybe they love each other, but there's not really a real serious commitment. So, every now and again he dip out, every now and again she dip out. What do you really have? I'd rather have commitment than love. And maybe, you would ideally love to have both.
Yeah.
But I'd rather know that you're committed to me, because to me, it's going to be hard not to be committed to somebody and not love them. Because if I'm committed to you, I'm saying I'm just with you and you only. Even if it's not love on the front end, it's going to eventually have to be love, because what's going to make me stay committed? besides loving you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I put that commitment first.
Does that show up in your life in any way where you've had to, maybe a feeling's not there, but you still stay committed, or vice versa?
Not really. I think I'm pretty straightforward on who I am and what I'm looking for in relationships. Not just, like with guys and stuff, but like friendships and everything. Commitment, man. Like, I want to know, I'm gonna have your back, and I want to know that that if I tell you something or we having a conversation, that I'm not gonna hear it again, because if you tell me something, you expect the same. You don't want to next day somebody call you be like, guess what? Sometimes I try people though. Like, if I think you a little shaky on the relationship side, I'm gonna tell you a story, but I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you something similar. So if it come back to me, I know who it came from.
Yep.
So then somebody be like, yeah, girl, because so-and-so said, yep, now I know I can't trust you. But I know that you pretty cool because you didn't pass the test. But you, and I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just sit back. I'm gonna keep on smiling. Hey, how you doing? But in the back of my mind, I'm gonna be like, yep, don't tell him another thing, because now I know that you ain't committed to this relationship, because when I tested you, yeah, I like doing that to people.
I feel it. I like that too. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that goes into what I was just saying about the last thing. Like, I feel like that's what it is for me. Like, I'm committed to you even sometimes when that feeling not there. Because sometimes the feeling ain't there. Sometimes I definitely want to cuss you out and call you a bunch of D's. Hey, look, I'm keeping it a buck.
Where's my pearls? Jesus Christ.
I ain't gonna lie.
A bunch of them, though.
Nah, a couple.
I know a couple. Man, motherfucker, a couple of handfuls at that. I'm tripping. It be like that.
I don't know what type of females y'all dealing with.
Stressful ones.
I don't understand.
It be love like that.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. But and then once again, y'all young. First of all, stress ain't never good for your body. It wears you out. It ages you. And then life is too short, man. Life, as you can see, it was like school just got out. Yes, we already ready to go back to school again. Time is moving. Like, I don't have time to waste on people and situations anymore. Yeah. I'm just not tolerant of it, of people at all. So, I'm gonna try to give you a chance or two, and then I'm gonna mentally move on. You'll never hear me say it, but I'm just gonna mentally move on to something else.
So then, how do you prepare for marriage then? Because marriage is a lifetime of patience.
It's a lifetime of patience. People say you should get counseling, and I do believe that. So, because I do believe, and that's something I didn't do. I do believe you need to sit down with someone who doesn't have a dog in the fight, nobody related to you, nobody who even really knows you, and to come together and say, and just put some things on the table. So then you can get some things out, and then you can have somebody advise you who is going to give you an unbiased opinion. Who's going to say, hey, man, nah, I don't think you should do that. I think you should do this. Or I don't think you should do that. I think you should do this. Rather than somebody who know, like, this is my friend. So, of course, they're going to say, I'm right and he wrong. I think it should definitely be somebody else who you don't really know. But I definitely think that you should sit down and have a discussion about what the expectations are. And I know some people do it. Like I said, I didn't. That's one of the things that I advise to everyone, because marriage sounds so cute. It's just, it's so wonderful, and everybody's this. And I ain't never had no weddings. I ain't never had that part of the marriage. I mean, it's just a piece. So I didn't get that warm and fuzzy feeling, and I didn't have a toaster at the end or nothing like that. But I definitely think that people should definitely get counseling, because there are things that come up, and there are things that you suppress from your childhood and just the way you were brought up. And then you trying to combine that with somebody else who sometimes thinks differently and have their own individual experience. And so then y'all in the household together, and especially when y'all raising children, because you need to know, did your mom spank you? What was you like? How were you reprimanded as a child?
Yeah.
How were you this? How were you that? Okay, so then what's the plan for our child? I may be a spanker. You may be like, oh no, my mom never touched me. What? like, but we need to get that talked out so when the child gets here, it's not a whole situation. You know what I mean? Because then the child doing something crazy and I'm looking at you like, man, where is my belt? And you about something, no, let's just give her time to calm down. Calm down. So no, we ain't doing all that. But there's definitely things I definitely recommend everybody should be in counseling for at least a year. Because there's so much that you don't really know about a person until y'all live together. Man.
So counseling in marriage or before marriage?
Counseling before marriage. As soon as y'all start getting serious, to me, and y'all definitely thinking about marriage, I think y'all need to start meeting with somebody who, and they don't necessarily have to be a marriage counselor, but you know that this couple is happily married, not the Facebook happy. I mean, real off the Facebook happy, and that they are solid. He's not actively doing, she not actively doing, and they are a Christian marriage where they are going to not just tell you their opinion, but also tell you, and also line up to the word of God. I think you should definitely sit down with this couple. And I think it should be both a man and a woman, because then I don't like when people give marriage counseling and it's just a man counseling a couple or a woman. I think it should be a couple because it levels the playing field. And so that way you all can sit down and start from the basics. Okay, why do you want to be married? Why do you love her? What do you like about her? What do you hate about her? I think you should get that stuff out from the beginning. Hey man, listen, it's cute at first because y'all was together, but she snores and I have to go to this second room to sleep. But you don't know that. So you just sitting there like, oh, you know what I mean? But I feel like if you had talked about all these things on the front end, okay, I don't want to see her without makeup. I've seen her, every time I've seen her, she has makeup. I only know she looked like without makeup. That's a difference. Because when you go to bed with somebody and wake up, their morning face is different from that face you see on them dates. And that could be surprising for men and women. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes you wake up with a dude and then you thought that was a fresh cut, but you realize he done sweated and that thing is, you know what I'm saying? That ain't even real hair. Like, what you gonna do then? I think there has to be a very candid conversation about what your likes and dislikes, what your future plans are.
Yeah. I think also, you said it shouldn't be somebody you know. I would not advise this for anybody else. But I definitely say that me and Soldier hold each other accountable. Now our girls probably disagree. They probably think we're going to be about, man, look, like, don't get me wrong. Like, that's my man's, but like, I'm going to tell him when he's wrong. And he's going to tell me when I'm wrong. And I don't like him. And I have to hang up the phone sometimes because he stands for something I don't like. And I'm pretty sure he feel the same. He's like, look, all right, Rob, I'm going to catch you later. But for the most part, it's like, nah, because look, we're going to be business partners. And your relationship can't be messing up my business. And my relationship can be messing up his business. It can't. And even outside of that, like, I've seen this man at his lowest. Ain't no way that I'm ready to just tell him what he wants to hear for him to keep going through dumb stuff. Like, that's just not, and I know everybody don't got that. Most people, hey, look, I'm a ride. Hey, have you heard from Soldier? Oh, yeah, he right here with me right now. Hey, bro, where you at, Rick? Nah, I can't, like, nah, yo. Like, he gonna hold me like, nah, Robby, I bang with you, bro. Like, I remember the time, man, when I was dealing with, should I say her name?
No, fuck.
Okay. When I was dealing with Shorty, and he was like, Robby, I ain't gonna lie, you keep being with her, we can't be friends no more. Like, that was when I was really like, okay, like, he really has my best interest at heart. Because he sees that me being with her is detrimental to, and everybody, you told me, my mom told me, my dad told me, my sisters told me, you know what I mean? But he was the only one like, yo, we can't be cool no more. If you continue, like, I love you from afar, so.
I know you talking about that. Lord, today. And that's something I think and I get that you guys depend on each other. But I always tell Samir and them, as a woman, I know another woman. I can look at some of these people and be like, listen, that's gonna be a headache. She gonna be stressing you out. She's not good for you. Y'all on two different things. I think that you need to sometimes get insight from your aunts and like older women in your family. Bring this person around. Same thing with your uncles and them, because people who are older see people differently. I can see past a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, and I'd be like, that ain't gonna work, but whatever. And I'm gonna tell the person, hey, yo, I don't think that's gonna be a good idea, but And at that point, you have the decision to, do what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that people would be better off if they get the perspective of somebody who's already been down this road before.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool that you got each other, but both of y'all still a little younger.
Mm-hmm.
Ask somebody a little older. Bring her around your mom. Bring her around your mom, and just let her just have dinner. Just something real simple. At the end of dinner, they're gonna be like, "Well, listen, she's very nice, and she's this and she's that. She seems da 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 da," and they're gonna give you their honest opinion because they ain't gonna never want to lie to you. But they're also gonna look at it from a woman looking at another woman and be able to tell whether this is gonna be something that is long term or this just gonna you just gonna flip her a couple times and she gonna be gone.
Yeah. And it's crazy because my mom told me, but I wasn't trying to listen to my mom. But when he told me that, like, she went over his house, the same girl we just talking about, she went over his house, and his mom was like, "Oh no, she's not for Robby."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wait,
like
5 minutes, not even. Promise.
Yeah, and so my question is, what if you don't have somebody that's in a healthy relationship in your life? What if you don't have an aunt or a mom that you trust to go to, or a dad, or you know what I mean?
Listen, first of all, let me back up. You should be talking to God about people.
Okay.
When I sit back in my life and see the wasted time I have put into people, and not just guys, I mean friendships from females, wasted time into people is crazy. But when you get older, you realize time moves slow when you're younger.
Mm-hmm.
As you get older, time it's like I was just 30 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The time moves so fast. I'd be like, Lord, I don't want to waste time with this job. I don't want to waste time with this whatever. Like, is this for me or is this not? Because I don't have time to waste, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to wait 2 or 3 years and be like, man, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know right up front.
Yeah.
But then once people start giving me a little sign, things start getting a little off, I start edging to my seat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then something still a little crazy, we move out a little more. And then before you know it, I'm popping out because I just don't have time to figure people out. They always say when people show you who they are, believe them. That's so for real.
Mm-hmm.
That's so for real. So if they don't have an older person that they value their opinion that they can listen to, always talk to God, but always pick people. The signs be right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, they do. But sometimes when you in love or you really like that person, you have a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when you sit back sometime and it's just you by yourself and you evaluate life and people in your life, you be like, man, that was sitting there the whole time. But you didn't want to see it. It was there though, but you didn't want to see it.
Yeah, I going back to that same girl. I can remember back. It was a couple things that I'm just like, yo, like, ain't no way we should have moved past this point. Like, I remember we were sitting on a boat together. Or now we was kayaking, so we was each in our own boat. So we were just sitting out there on the water. We wasn't moving. And she was like, yeah, I just don't think we should be together. Early, like 3 months into our relationship. And I should have listened. And my dumb self, like, man, you got me chopped if I'm ready to be trying to convince somebody to be with me or to do something or to do bar by me. I'm not doing that no more. I can't. You got me chopped. I'm not ready. You telling me you want to leave? Now, I do feel like sometimes women, when they emotional, they pull that, well, if you just want to be with me, man, shut up. But like, if you straight face, not emotional, I don't want to be with you. Cool.
You should have kayaked yourself back to land. And it was so nice, let me get myself in your house and vice versa. And you just listen, I ain't never had a dude tell me twice he want to be with me. That no. And once you said it, and I know you were serious, it's time to go. Don't make nobody tell you twice to go home or get out or they don't want to be with you. No.
Mm-hmm.
They said it the first time, they meant it.
Mm-hmm. Real love.
Gone.
All right, so finish the sentence. Love is
kind. This is scripture. I can't think of the whole thing right now. It keeps no record of wrongdoings. It is patient. Love shows mercy. God is love, of course. I think that we lost that in this world a long time ago. It's the basic fundamentals to me of being a human. And love is It's just not what it used to be. It used to be like big and strong, and love now is like in little pieces. It's just they've taken it and just melted it down into, it don't even have the same weight. It don't look the same.
Mm-hmm.
It because people use it so, man, I love him, I love her. People use it so casually now.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean what it used to mean. But in its prime, longer time ago, it really, when somebody said they love you, most of the time it was something that would just make you get like a little chill, like, ooh, love. Now you say it, somebody say love you, you be like, all right, because you just like, I don't know if you saying it because you saying it, or if you saying it because that's what I want to hear, or whether I gotta figure out first if that love lacks, if it has any substance to the word, because it's just so casual, it's just thrown around. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. So.
I want to go back to something you just said from that scripture. It says, love has no record of wrongdoing.
No, it keeps no record of wrongdoing.
Hold on now, because we were just talking about, if you checking somebody a couple times and they not getting it, then you got to go ahead. So how do you, it has no record of wrongdoing, but then you checking to see if somebody doing right for you a couple times?
Listen, I'm going to tell you something about that wrongdoings. I'm still working on that part of love, because my memory is too good on some things. Some things I cannot remember. But when somebody do me wrong, that thing is cemented in my mind. And sometimes I just be sitting somewhere and get mad all over again. God dang it. I cannot believe he said that. And I be burnt like it just happened. I told Sam the other day, I said, man, I was thinking about you the other day. I was mad all over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That part, that's a daily work on situation.
Yeah.
Because as humans, you always, stuff just comes back up sometimes to you. Yeah. And so like something happens and it makes you remember. You ever been somewhere? Like we were driving the other day and I was driving. I was like, I don't know if I've been here before. But then you start seeing, oh, shoot, I remember that. Oh, man, I remember that. And then it comes back to you. Yeah. And that's how situations be happening. They just start coming back, and you be like, man, you just get mad all over again about stuff. So it's a daily effort. Keep no record of wrong. Only God can do that. Because I ain't made that yet of keeping no record of wrong. I got a whole record of wrongdoings. I can put them out anytime. Back in December, see, I ain't forgot that you did X, Y, and Z. So it's a daily thing, man. Yeah. But forgiveness is very important because it frees you, even if even if they don't accept it, even if they never tells you that they forgive you, you just gotta free yourself from that situation. Because I've been bitter about things for years, just tight. You just like almost feel it, like it has a pulse inside you. You just be like tight about stuff, but man, it just breaks your body down. It messes with your spirit. It's just that unforgiveness, like it's almost cripples you long term, because it just keep coming back and just keep coming back, and you be having a good day and then a flashback will come back. You mad all over again.
So what do you do to work on forgiveness personally? Man,
you just gotta, first of all, I gotta always remember that God has forgiven me for, too many things. Too many things, and that we are all, everybody's, like I said, everybody has their own individual experience. Everybody's going through this life and interpreting it differently. So I got to always remember that sometimes people just be having bad days, man. It don't be personal. And everybody, like you said, has their own trauma. They have, bad childhood memories. They just lost their job today. They man broke up with him, girl broke up with him, and then you come to work and she's just nasty and zapping out. And I just don't take that stuff personal. Now if day 2 and 3 comes and you still acting a little crazy, we gotta have a little conversation. Yeah. But forgiveness is something you gotta work on every day. But you just gotta always remember that you are human too, and you out here aggravating somebody too. You on somebody's nerves too. Yeah. And they might not be saying it necessarily, but you getting on somebody's nerves. Yeah. And that you gonna want that same forgiveness on the back end.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, like I definitely am more on the optimistic side, and I definitely have a heart for people, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't struggle with that too. That forgiveness piece, like you said, sometimes stuff like I'll see something, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, Shorty definitely did. And I just be sitting there. We get on the phone, hey, babe. Yep. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I do struggle with that. Like I can't even sit here and try. I ain't gonna sit here and try to front. It is hard because it's like, especially when you feel like you've done no wrong, that burns me. Like
that,
like you say you love me. That love word. You say you love me. You all the things that I do for you, you don't even know. That's one thing that I feel like love is. I know you didn't ask me, but like, like the thing, love is the things that you don't see that I do for you. The thoughts that you don't know that I think about you. The all the things that you don't even peep. Like this, like something my dad said. He was like my stepmom, she don't got to worry about filling up the gas in the tank. She don't got to worry about certain bills and certain stuff. Like there's things that like you don't even know, and for you to do that to me, but then at the same time, it's because of who you are that it feels so personal as well.
Yeah.
That people don't think about. You know, you take it personal. Like, how could you? Well, it's only because it's that person that it feels that deep. Because if it was yo from down the street, it would suck, but not to the magnitude. The matters of the heart. Like, you know what I mean, that you dealing with. So, dang, I ain't gonna lie, that joint is hard. I ain't gonna sit here and try to front like it's easy. That forgiveness piece.
Well, I ain't gonna lie, bro. A thing about forgiveness for me, because I'm most definitely the type where I forgive you, but you got to get on and go on that way.
Okay.
Like, because, okay, if we want to talk biblical senses, right? Say the Lord forgives everybody, all forgiving, all caring. Look at the devil, who's not allowed back into the heaven gates. He loves all, forgives all. He still loves you, but it's like, yeah, you can't come back up in here, though. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? Like, I could have love for you, you feel me? Or whatever. I forget you did something, I forgive you, you know what I mean? I'm not going to hold that to heart. I'm not going to see you down the street and beat you up or something. Yeah. But at the same time, don't think this shit's sweet. Like, that's just what it is. So I feel like that's, people think of forgiveness and be like if Robby said something to me, like that was foul. And I tell him I forgive him, but then he like, you still acting funny. You don't really, no, I forgave you. But just because I forgave you don't mean that it's going to go back to what it was. That's just how I feel.
Sure. Because sometimes people cross that line and it can never go back. I mean, we still cool, but we ain't gonna be that cool no more.
Exactly.
That happens. They're human.
You can trust is lost in buckets but gained in droplets.
Listen, that right there, that's something. That's something.
Well, anybody you want to shout out or any last words or anything?
Anybody I want to shout out? I like to shout out my book, Hey Babe. He know I was gonna come. Listen, let me tell you something about me and Sam. I'm crazy like this, and I would talk this same way if he was here. Yeah. Because to me, I'm not gonna do something when you're not here versus when you're here.
That's all.
I don't like people who like the stuff I'm telling you about. The guy, the church guy, he already know about all of this stuff. And that's what I like about our relationship. I'm very honest with him about things. So I can tell stories. I know some people gonna see this and be like, oh my God, she said that. She's married. But he already know this ain't no secret. It ain't like it was an exclusive. You know what I mean? We have a relationship where he know what it is beforehand. So anyways, hey babe. I would like to shout out my kids, I guess. Robby, this is real nice. I had to shout y'all out. I like what y'all doing. I like that. And I know probably it's a little tough financially, mentally, and all that type stuff. But to see y'all keep going, you know, I just want y'all to be encouraged about it. You know, it's real nice. I know what to expect. You know, when it's your family sometimes, you know how families sometimes do things and you be like, man. But this was real nice. And I'm honored that I was chosen, I guess, chosen wanted to do this. Anybody else to shout out? I like to shout out my sister, I guess. One of them. You know, me and Sharon, man, Sharon's like my best friend and like my worst enemy at the same time. When I want to cut up real bad, she'd be like, Sharon, don't do it. The show, you be like, don't name names. And I'm a name type person. Like, why not name names? If you bad enough to bring it, then you should be bad enough to have your name spoken out. But show, you be like, don't do it. But I like to shout out Sharon, I guess. Sharon's father. My grandkids, I don't know if they ever see this or not. I can't think of nobody else right now.
You know, it's crazy. You know what? You got grandkids. Every time you be saying that, that'd be like,
it's crazy, but they're my little loves. Like,
oh, no, she actually got grandkids. I thought she was like, no,
she's not that serious.
Oh, she got old.
So let me clean this up. None of my children have children. Sam's children have children, but these are my little grandkids. I've held them since they were out the womb. They're now older. I've seen them through. They're not my blood, but those are my babies. Like those, it's a difference from being a mother role to a grandmother. It sounds weird even saying that, but it's just a difference. I mean, I'm a pose a question to answer my own question. What do I want people to know about me? You asked that in the beginning, and I said wife, mother, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, if I had to write my own obituary, I would want it to say that I love life. People don't know that I'm like, people like I work with and people who don't really know me know I got a whole funny side to me because my face is naturally like all the time. There, people think I'm mean. I'm always perceived as like hard to get along with. I love people. I love to serve people. I love to do for people. I love to be around most people. Some of y'all
felt that.
Anyways, but I want to be known as someone who loves people, who love to deal with people, who love my family, who try their best, man. You know, like my life is not that easy. There's a couple things I wish had never happened. It's a couple things I'm glad they did happen. But because I think all of that makes you, but at the end of the day, let me turn back to nursing. Nursing is my passion. It's all I've ever known. It's all I've ever done. I don't know if it's all I'll ever do, but taking care of somebody and the pride you feel and the joy you feel from when people come to you sometimes barely can stand up, vomiting, fever, they got all type of stuff going on, and to see them change from being ill and then to see them get better into the different stages is crazy to me. I've always enjoyed it. I hope it's something that I always do, but you know, I'm always open to something else. I just don't know if I'd ever do it or not. What else about me? I wish I could sing. If I could sing, I'd be the richest person. I'd be at everybody's funeral and wedding. One thing I've always wanted to do is dunk a ball. Why you gotta laugh like that?
It's just like, why that?
Because I grew up when Jordan was the man. Back in the day, I haven't even watched basketball since then. And the way he would just go up and his whole body come off the ground and either two hands or one hand. I always said one day I was gonna dunk a ball. That's probably not gonna happen. I'm a little too big to be coming down on these knees. But that's one of the things I've always wanted to do though. But maybe if I got like a big trampoline and then jump on the trampoline and then would take me higher. Now you think that would work?
I think that'll work. But you know, it's crazy. I can't dunk either. I was this close to dunking and then I fractured my ankle. And since then, I just don't feel comfortable going that high. Like, I'm I'm cool. Nah.
Maybe one day I can get a big trampoline and it'll take me high enough.
I'm scared of trampolines. I got bad knees, so.
Hey, you too young to have
he tore his ACL, MCL.
All that extra shit.
Oh, crap.
Twice.
Yeah. So, yeah, if I jump, I'll mess around and land. I'd rather jump and land on the ground than land on the trampoline. I don't know why, but, all that, my knee will dislocate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't got nothing else. If y'all ain't got nothing else.
I do got one question I wanted to ask, and I hate to end it off like this, but I forgot. So, I got a funny story, and then should I do the funny story or the question?
I'm intrigued about the question now.
Okay, so the question I have is, dealing with grief, and somebody so close, how would you advise? How are you able to get through it, or how are you working through it, and how would you advise somebody that's kind of going through that?
Okay. So this is yeah. So when everything happened, those who don't know, I found her at my house, so I had to still live there, knowing that your mother was dead in your living room. That I couldn't even go in the living room for a long time. If I went, I would run through it because you had to go to it. You had to go through the living room to get to the kitchen. So if I had to go to the kitchen, I would just take off and sprint. I couldn't stay in the living room for the longest time. Yeah. If I was at the house by myself, I couldn't come downstairs. I just couldn't even go together. The night that she died, well, she was in the hospital first, and we had to pull the plug. Man, that right there, woohoo! I said, you know what? Like I said, I know she was dying. I put it in the back of my mind, but it's nothing like the reality of somebody dying, because that's when you know you are not going to talk to this person tomorrow. It don't really sink in until you. If you hear about somebody that is dying, it's different than when they are gone, because it's final. Yeah. So I said I had a Dodge Durango at that time. So I was sitting there. But when she died, Sam was out of town, so it was me and the boys at the house. So we lived back in the woods. I was by myself, and so I didn't have nobody to really comfort me until he came back into town. Yeah. So I'm just sitting there crying, trying to be a mom, still trying to do everything. And I said, you know what? When Sam come back, I'm going to jump in this Durango. And you know where I lived at, and all them ditches. I said, I'm going to flip my truck and kill myself. I just couldn't even imagine. I just didn't want to live without her. I did not want to live without her. I just couldn't imagine it. And the more it sunk in that she would not be there tomorrow, it hurt me so bad. The night, the night that she died, the night before all this happened, we had a meeting, a family reunion meeting. And I had to do 11 to 7 that night at one of my clients' houses. So we was in Easton. I had to drop her back in Unionville and get back to Easton. So my last words to my mother was, okay, Mom, she's on the passenger side. I gotta go. So hurry up. Go ahead, Livy. Come on, y'all. Get out. I gotta go. I gotta help get back because I was already almost late. Yeah. So I rushed her out of my vehicle and my kids and Livy and rushed them into the house. I sat there long enough for them, where we lived in the cut. Yeah. So they could get the door open, and the door had barely shut, and I sped off and I was gone. So my last words to her were, I gotta go. Come on. Help me get out because I gotta go to work. So I was like, so when Sam gets back, that's what I'm going to do. I couldn't even fathom it. And so I'm playing all this out. I'm making this plan in my head. And Simon walked in the room, and Simon was probably about 2 or 3 at that time. And he starts hitting me on my leg. He's like, Mom. But in my head, I can see him, and I'm talking to him, but I'm still in my head planning. If I go around this curve, if I go fast enough, if I flip it just right, you know what I mean? And he's hitting me. So eventually I snap out of it, and I'm like, what? And he's like, putting his hands out. He wants to be picked up. He wants some attention. Yeah. And it snapped me out of it. And I just sat there and I thought, well, wait a minute. Let me get this straight, Sheraya. You're grieving because your mother's gone and you don't want to be alive. So if you kill yourself, what are your children going to do? And then I was sitting there like, God dang, wait a minute. Let me get myself together. I can't live without my mother. And so now I'm going to make them motherless like that. So then I'm sitting there and I'm just like, yo, let me get somebody on the phone. I called a lot of people that night. Let me just talk to people. I just got to clear my head because I just was like, I can't even believe that you're sitting here putting this together in your head and planning this all out when you're grieving your mother, but now you're going to make your kids grieve you. And they haven't even got a chance to even really know you. That was crazy to me. Looking back on that now, but grief is so crazy. It makes you, the highs and lows of it is so unpredictable. time has moved on now. It's not as bad, but them first 2 to 3 years was miserable. It was miserable because something would happen and you'd be like, oh man, that's crazy. Right. Who am I calling? She's gone. So every time something good would happen, you realize you can't call her. When something bad was happening, you just wanted to vent. You realize you couldn't call her.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy to me. It was the first couple of years is bad, but I had people, and I'm gonna shout her out. One person in particular, Ronice would call me and check on me. One of the people in my life that would keep in contact. I remember when I went back to work after she died. The first time I went back to work, I had to do overnight shift.
Mm-hmm.
It's quiet. The lady was asleep, so I'm up. And so your mind is just, so you're thinking you see things, you're thinking you hear things. What's that? And I was so miserable and I was just falling apart. And my dad texted me at like 1:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked on and off all night. That's how I got through the night. Because it was so quiet. So all I had time to do was sit in my thoughts.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether he knew or whether it was just weird. And so all night long, we're texting back and forth and we're talking back and forth. And then before I knew it, it was daytime and the night shift was over. And I was able to get through that. But it was just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy times, man. Now it doesn't feel nowhere as bad, but them first couple years, man, are the worst. Yeah.
How would you advise somebody to help them get through it if they're going through it right now?
You definitely need to get your people. You definitely need to have your people. I think that so what I do for people now is when I know like someone has died, I try to be that same person people work to me. Hey, listen, because at first when somebody died, your phone rings a million times.
Mm-hmm.
People calling, letters, flowers, and all of that. After about 2 weeks, everybody just start dying down, get real quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when I come in. I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? You okay? How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You want some company? I try to be that person when everything gets quiet, because I know how that is.
Yeah.
Because people being human, they're not gonna keep calling you like that after a while because they got lives and stuff to get on with. Yeah. You're still stuck. They're still going. So what I try to be that person to people now. 2-3 weeks after someone's gone, I start calling, hey, or I start sending little funny emojis or send a funny text or something, or just find a stupid joke, just something to say, hey, listen, I'm thinking about you and I'm here. Yeah. So that quietness will kill you, man. That sitting in your own mind and grief, it's not healthy at all. I wouldn't advise nobody to do that. Find somebody quick. And hopefully people that know you and love you will just surround you, and not just for the 2 weeks. But some of those people will come in 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, and just build you up so that over time you won't need anybody.
Yeah. So the funny thing that I was gonna say is the thing that I love about you and Uncle Sam's relationship. I love how y'all joke. Like, I want a relationship like that.
That little short rascal. Listen, we came a long way though, Robby. He wasn't always like that. There was times I ain't like him and he ain't like me. Like I told you, there was times I actually was like hoping he would not come home. Like I was hoping he would meet some chick and she would turn him all the way out and he would go right on over there. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to do this anymore. But now I'm like, I don't know how I would live without him. Like I'd be telling him, like, I hope you live forever. Because I don't ever want to have to date again. Because I don't want to have to train nobody. I didn't train. For 20 years we've been together. Mm-hmm. I got this man. He knows exactly what I like, how I like it, where to go, this and that. I can't do that with no other man. I'm getting too old. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, no, I didn't say this store, that store. I got to start all over again. Like, training? Mm-hmm. I don't want to have to train nobody. Jesus Christ, that's a headache.
How long y'all been together?
So we got together technically the beginnings of 2005.
Good.
So that has been, we have been dealing with each other for 20 years. We got married in 2009. So this year, at the end of this month, will be 16 years married. That's crazy as heck. That's crazy. 16 years.
Wow.
I can't even believe it. Like, I never thought. When I remember when we was at church and a preacher came and was like, "You and him, and me and him was beefing. Like we was beefing hard."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "I want to talk to you two." Oh God, you know they make you stand up and stuff, and you standing there like, "Yes, you guys are going to be together. Y'all not getting no divorce. Y'all growing old together." And I was like, man, I hope he a false prophet. Please let him be a false prophet. Please, Lord. I ain't never asked for a false prophet before, but I hope he's speaking. Maybe the people behind me. So my face was tore up. I was standing there like this. He was like, "Yeah, I'm talking to you." And I was like, Lord, why? Why we got to grow? He was like, "Y'all gonna sit at the nursing home together?" I was like, well, Dad, like you didn't put me in a life sentence. Like I can never get rid of this dude. And I was just like, well, maybe, you know, because he said he's led by the Lord, but maybe he ain't right. But every now and again, I text that prophet and be like, me and him still together. With a sad face emoji. And he'd be like, I told you what God said. I was like, well, I was hoping you was wrong. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was hoping you was off that night. Like maybe you would just, you heard God, but not officially. Like maybe you was, but yeah, here we are.
Nah, that's beautiful. It still gets me over there. Like, yeah, Sam, your dad called. Yeah, he asked about if he left his underwear.
So he started to joke. He started to joke about my mom because when I used to go to work sometime, he used to help me like with her and stuff. Yeah. I used to be like, you know, go ahead make sure my mom had a sandwich or whatever. He used to be like, yeah, while you was going, my mom, your mom showed me her panties. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. He was like, yeah, she wanted something to eat, so I gave her just something stupid. And I was like, okay. So then I hadn't met his dad like that. Mm-hmm. I saw his dad and I was like, oh, okay. So your dad said, what's up? You know what I'm saying? You know, ain't no fuck the homies can't have none. You know what I mean? And so we always do this joke now. So when he be on the phone with his dad, I'd be like, who you talking to? He's like, my dad be like, that's Babe. That is Babe. I said, what's and I'm like, well, at least if I'm cheating on you in-house. At least you know the dude. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a stranger. You know what I mean? So we always make jokes about his dad.
Yo.
His dad cool, though. His dad cool, but yeah, that's the jokes we always got. But now, because my mom's gone, he can't pick up my mom, but he make it up every now and again. But then, so after my mom died, he make jokes about Sharon. Oh. So he got this joke about Sharon. I don't know if I can tell it or not, but I'm gonna tell it anyways. So when Sharon got married, he was like, yeah, Dad, Sharon getting married. Man, I like Richard. He's a cool dude and all. But I wonder if Sharon let me hit it in that wet dress one last time. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's cool, yo. That's cool. And like that one has been classic ever since. Yo. That's been classic ever since. And like, yo, that's the one that he really hit me over the head with. And I was like, for real though? You know what I mean? That's okay. Him and me and his dad and Idris are doing just fine. Now, me and Sam got an understanding about Idris. If he comes to town and he just happens to be into big women and he just happens to want to hook up, we have an understanding. Now, he's got K. Michelle.
Okay.
Right. Now, K. Michelle comes to town and she just happens to want to hook up. That's all you, my dude. Knock it out. You know what I'm saying? Do you?
That's real love right there.
because what are the chances of Idris Elba being attracted to me? Let's start there. And what are the chances of K. Michelle wanting to really, really hook up with Sam? So that's why you can talk junk. That's why I be like, that's all you, dude. Wear it out. Do your thing with her. You know what I mean? Because what's the chances of that happening? Now, if K. Michelle happened to like all of a sudden want to move to DC, then me and Sam was gonna move somewhere else. The possibility of him being somewhere and her being there just might happen. Oh, she be on the internet, Instagram, something like, yeah, I'm moving across the country. I'm moving to DC. I'm gonna start packing immediately. Listen, it's time to go. The Lord is leading us somewhere else.